Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Movam. Um, I am just going to be talking about the Interview with the Vampire, the series. It is honestly a really, really great series. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know if they're going to be having a new season or whatnot, but I hope that they do because it is just absolutely, really, really great show. So, and also Rotten Tomatoes, it literally holds 98%, which I thought that was incredible because I always thought Rotten Tomato critics are just, they're critics for a reason, they're very harsh, but the fact that it has a really good score is amazing. I really enjoy how thorough this has been written out and how it's been played out, and the actors and actresses on here are just absolutely amazing. I just love every bit of it. The props, the sceneries, the mannerisms, the timelines of everything. It's just, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I was going through in my little motions of like thinking about, oh, if there's anything that I would be able to do it differently. Of course, I like to write a lot. I like to think a lot, and there were times when I thought about, wanting to create something different or new. And I thought to myself, well, what would I do differently in this particular show or, movie? So, with Interview with a Vampire, there was a scene where Louis ran out into the sun to kill himself, and Armand was the one that brought him back in, and was basically, helping him back into health and to feed him blood just to keep him from starvation and whatnot. And then there was a point where Armand was talking to Lestat, and um, they were having a conversation with each other, and so that way Amon can talk to Louis what Lestat was saying, because he was so injured he couldn't hear his voice anymore. And yeah, and then that's when I got to thinking about like what would it be like if Lestat were to come back into the picture, because as far as we know, we thought that Lestat was dead, or supposedly. So, and I figured, okay, if he were to come back, how would it look like from my point of view, from through my eyes, if I were to direct it? Um, and it may sound silly to some people. Well, to some people, it might not. Um, but I would imagine, you know, Louis is talking to Daniel as usual, about his experience and what he went through during his time. And, you know, Daniel was, trying to put the pieces together of why everything happened the way it happened. And then I see that, you know, Lestat had came to their penthouse, of course. He's been, around for a while. He came and he saw Louis, and, Louis was kind of like shocked that Lestat was there, and that Amand was like, what are you doing here? Louis does not want to talk to you. He does not want to see you. And of course, as Lestat being pretty much territorial, he was just saying, like, we'll just let Louis decide, and, I'm not going to go anywhere, unless, Louis comes to me. And Armand was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I just had this, I don't know. I just be having these thoughts about, not necessarily macho, but like, standing your ground type of thing. And so Armand was kind of like, you know, um, you're not going to disrespect me in my own home, pretty much. And, I'm going to have to, you know, take you out or like make sure that you leave, whether you want to leave willingly or forcefully. And then he was like, okay, you can go ahead and try, basically. And then, they're going through this dispute, and then Louis is trying to calm the situation, of course, and he's trying to get Lestat to leave. And Lestat was kind of like, no, I don't want to go anywhere without you. And so, of course, being Armand, being a much stronger, fighter and whatnot, or a stronger vampire, I should say, he was able to levitate Lestat, on his own will, and he was able to like flunk him around, like kind of like throw him back. And Lestat, this upsets Lestat very, very much, of course. So, but he doesn't like try to like attack him like head on. It was until like Armand like turned around and tried to like walk away. It was when like a Lestat tried to like attack him. So that's when they got into this fight. And then of course Louis trying to like stop the whole thing, but of course he ended up getting like injured in the process. So of course, they're all like tumbling, trying to like stop the whole like fight and whatnot. And then of course Daniel, he's trying to like dodge and escape and trying to like not get hit, basically, not get crushed. So, and then eventually, Armand was able to like get Lestat like well, they got to like the roof of the building, and you have like Lestat, he was starting to like burn up because of the sun. And knowing Louis, seeing Lestat being in that much pain and him dying, he felt like he needed to save him. And he was about to like walk towards him, and that's when Armand was like, so everything that we had went through, you're just gonna throw it all away? And it caught Louis off guard, and he just started to remember him basically betraying Claudia, in the same manner. Claudia was trying to protect Louis from Lestat, especially since Louis and Lestat had fought in front of her, and she was trying to protect Louis, and he ended up choosing Lestat over Claudia by not killing him completely. And it was going to get to, it was about to be this same way. So when we see Louis, he's walking towards Lestat, slowly wanting to save him from being scorched. And he's crying, and he's walking slowly. And then he remembers, all like the good times with him and Lestat, him being kind of like a newlywed, and, them being in their honeymoon phase, and them being basically a happy couple. And then, as he was remembering this, he's starting to walk a little bit more closer towards him. And then Armand, he's seeing that Louis is walking towards Lestat, and this breaks Armand's heart, because he felt like, wow, I did all this to try to protect you, and you still choose the one person who will hurt you over somebody who's trying to protect you from being hurt. And that hurts me. So he just felt like, no matter what I do, I'm not good enough for you. And then this breaks Armand's heart, and he's like crying. And then we remember, we will go pan back to Louis, And he's remembering all those bad times when him and Lestat would argue, with him and Lestat fought. And it got to a point where, it scared Claudia, and he was trying to protect Claudia. And then, he as he was like remembering those things, he started to slowly back away. And as this is all going on, Lestat is crying, he's screaming, he's saying, Louis, come to me, come to me. Like, save me, Louis, save me. And then he is just kind of like, all of that, all those cries, all those memories, that is almost triggering Louis. And he's slowly backing away, not wanting to like save Lestat, because he's starting to remember, like, you did all those things to me, and you hurt me. So why should I invite that back again into my life? And next thing you know, Lestat eventually dies from the sun. And then, of course, Lestat, he's kind of, not Lestat, Louis, he's in shock, kind of. He's in shock. And that's when Armand went up to him and he held him, and Louis was crying. But it almost felt like a mourning kind of cry. It was like he was grieving of a loss of his past lover. But also he was crying because he was also kind of like, he felt relieved because he felt like he was finally free from the toxicity. So, and I felt like, as I was thinking about this, it felt almost kind of like Stockholm syndrome in a way. A lot of times when we know someone, of course, some of us know someone that have been in a very toxic relationship, it's very hard for them to leave. Especially when they have kids together, they have a home together, it's very hard for them to want to let go and leave, especially if you know that this person is bad for you or for them, and it's kind of like, how will I be able to move on from this? How will I be able to breathe or live without them? But at the same time, it's kind of like when they are gone, you feel relieved, because it's like you no longer have this chip over your shoulder. You no longer have to wonder if what you're doing is right or wrong, or whatever it is you're doing, even no matter how innocent it is. Like, it could be like, oh, if I do this, they might hit me, and I think a lot of times, not me specifically, but I know there is a lot of people who are in this situation that don't know how to get out of, these toxic relationships, and they want to find, they need an outlet. They need a safe space. And sometimes that safe space that they know is to that same person that is causing them pain as well. And it's very, very hard to get out of. And, that was just something that I have been thinking about as I was seeing that scene, and I was just listening to some music, and it just kind of like moved me, and I was thinking of this entire scene, and I was just kind of like, what if it actually played out that way? And of course, this story had went on, with the actual show and whatnot. So obviously it's nothing close to what I imagined, but still, it's something that I thought about. Like, whenever I'm watching something, I always think, okay, is there something that I could have done differently? Or, would it be something that people would be interested in seeing? Who knows? It's just a thought. But anyways, just let me know what you think about that whole piece, about that. And yeah, Let me know down in the comments what you think about the show. Do you guys like the show? Is there anything that you guys think that would have been different? Or yeah, just let me know. I'm just curious. So you just have a great day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.